Welcome to Coming In Hot with Caroline. We are here with two very special guests. I am so excited. You guys, these are my girls. When you're talking about female founders, people that you are so proud to work with, this is what I'm talking about. Alisa and Jen are here from INNBEAUTY, and you guys know I'm obsessed with the Extreme Cream. I have been wearing it for the last 10 months, and the truth is, I have never gotten more questions about my skin. I get the most questions about my jewelry and my skin. Yeah. And to be 53 and getting those questions, you feel pretty honored and pretty grateful. So Alisa and Jen are here from INNBEAUTY.
Oh
my God. I'm so happy to have you here, guys.
We're so excited.
Here. Thank you for being here.
And we're in awe of you. I think just the fact that you're so loud and proud about who you are and your age just gives us so much confidence too.
But also so real.
I appreciate you guys so much. But honestly, what I love about you guys is you believe in pro-aging, which we're going to really get into because it's something that we've talked a lot about. And I think it's important to get that messaging out there. So I think it's really important to have these conversations now, especially as I think women in their midlife are being a little bit more seen, a little more heard. And you guys, I feel like, are the first real brand to come out there and really accentuate this midlife woman. And not to say that somebody younger can't use this. I think the more that you do preventative, the better. So you start using this young so that you don't have to get to my age and start slathering it on in a pool of extreme cream. At the end of the day, it's really for everyone. You've made it accessible, you've made it affordable, and you've made it actually really good. Like, you actually put these ingredients there that I am getting stopped constantly and asked, what the fuck are you doing with your skin?
And you look fantastic.
Well, thank you. And it's to these two that I really, can we just get into it? Okay. Because I think people want to understand, number one, can we just get a little bit of your backgrounds? I think it's always good to know the female founders and to understand who you're supporting.
Absolutely. Do you want to start?
Sure. I mean, we've both been in the beauty industry a very long time, 20 years now at this point, right?
Just about,
so, our entire careers pretty much in the beauty industry. I'm on the product development and formula side, so I work on innovation, really creating the formulas, trying to push the boundaries of topical
Jen's a freaking
skincare.
genius.
She really is. You've worked for Tarte. You've worked, I mean, tell them you have come, this is not like, I just decided to start some little brand. I mean, you really have a background in this. What did you study? I mean, how did you become this like mad magician?
Yeah, but everybody asked me that. I studied anthropology in college.
Okay. So kids, you're going to be fine.
There is no clear path.
There is no clear path, as we can see.
Yeah, I had a very wayward way into the industry. And that's why I try to tell everyone, because innovation and product development is actually a very small part of the industry. Like, everybody knows everybody. And they're like, how do you get into it? How do you get into it? And I just feel like if you really are interested in it, you can find a way to get in. Even if you start on the marketing side or if you start in operations.
Because you started really in the marketing side.
I started in the marketing side, also worked in beauty. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So if you're really interested in development and product development, even though the teams tend to be really small, it's really small part of the company, you can definitely show your interest and get into it that way. So
what's the background in that? I see young girls all the time being like, how do I get into it? What do you study? What do I do in school? Do I have to go to school?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I started pre-med.
Okay.
And I did not finish pre-med. So I did take a lot of chemistry. I've always been really interested in the formula side of things, but I think it was really always like my curiosity in how certain ingredients work, how they change a formula, how it all comes together, like understanding the gives and takes, because there's gives and takes with formulation, you know? Right. So it was really like my own curiosity. I did a lot of my own research and studying, and because it was a passion of mine. So even in college, I say this is so cheesy, but I would go to Sephora on the weekends. I couldn't afford anything. I remember I bought that old Cargo lip gloss that had the 4 shades, the tins, $22. It was all I could afford back then. But I was just I would love to have a brand in Sephora one day, but I had no idea how I was going to get there. But I feel just my passion and drive for that industry kind of almost subconsciously weaved my way through the industry.
Like you set your goals high.
Yeah.
I mean, and you get there. I think sometimes it is just setting that goal or that dream that you see, because when you guys you got an award, not just you got an award too, which is pretty incredible, especially with Sephora, they're pretty tight knit. I mean, that's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Wow.
Similar to Jen, I have worked in the beauty industry, always on the marketing side, and I really love this part. So I take Jen's miraculous formulas, and then think about how do we package it? How do we connect this beautiful product to a consumer need or a desire? How do we sell it? How do we tell the story? How do we find the perfect people to work with, like yourself, to really embody this product and take it from a product to something that is so vital and part of who you are and gives you confidence and part of your life?
Your routines, people forget you have a routine for working out. You have certain routines that you know make you feel good, and yet we will disregard that skincare, that skin prep that is actually no makeup can cover really good skin. You know what I mean? True. Or good skin just stands on its own.
You need to take care of your skin. Your skin's your largest organ. It's not just something you spackle product on. And so I think we forget. We forget to really take care of our skin.
Yeah. We really
do. Face all the way down.
Even as a young kid, you're always like laying in the sun. I'm somebody who's, Latino.
We all did it.
We want sun. We want to be tan. How do you guys feel about that now? All the women now or all these young girls listening now, when you talk about sun damage and you talk about protecting your skin, what do you guys mean when you say that?
I think there's such a movement to just putting on SPF, not only in the summertime, not just on vacation, but all day long, even if you're sitting in front of a screen. I think people are listening and waking up to it. And then, skin cancer is real. Yeah. So I do think that there's a lot less baby oil tanning going on.
Yeah. Right. And even
remember?
Things like hyperpigmentation, I think people are always like, I've been using this product for a week or 2 weeks and I don't see results. Hyperpigmentation, I always like to say, it takes
tell us
the
about
longest.
It. It's the hardest thing
to treat. And I always tell people, you can be using the top products for hyperpigmentation for 12, 20 weeks. And the minute you go out in the sun without protection, you can undo all that treatment pretty quickly. So it's so crucial, especially if you suffer from hyperpigmentation and dark spots, to really protect your skin. You should be doing it anyway, regardless.
I mean, I used to have a mustache. It was like I had a mustache from the hyperpigmentation, like right above my lip. It was, again, it's like the skin can really make you very self-conscious.
Exactly.
Obviously,
it's a confidence factor.
Really
there are days you wake up, you look in the mirror, and you're just like, I don't feel good about myself.
Or like kids with acne, you see how much that affects them psychologically, their mental health. And then women, as they age or get pregnant, that pregnancy acne. And it's funny how much it does affect your mental health, how you see yourself in that mirror. So again, jumping on early to protect your skin is the way to go.
Yeah.
You guys, did you guys have skin issues growing up? Did you guys struggle with anything?
I had the traditional teen acne.
You did?
For sure.
After having my second baby, I have 3, but after my second baby, all of a sudden my skin, I've had pretty good skin my whole life, erupted with rosacea, and I tried it all. I did the lasers, I did the prescriptions, nothing worked until I really honed in on my skincare routine. And so now I am in beauty through and through. There's not a single product I put on my face that is not in beauty except for some makeup. And it's really about that consistent routine, being consistent with everything that you use, sun protection. But I woke up and I almost felt like a fraud, where I have this skincare brand and I'm a founder, and my skin just looked bad. And I went to derms and they even asked, this must be a really severe sunburn. It wasn't, it was rosacea. And at a point, I remember sending Jen pictures. She was like, whoa. And I think it was external, internal, hormonal, just so many things going on. Running a business doesn't help. The stress doesn't help.
Because stress does affect your skin, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All of it.
Yeah, there's actually cortisol has an effect on the cellular level.
So one of our products, Calm the Red.
Yeah. What?
One of our products, Calm the Red, which is a 2-phase product.
I love the
that.
Yes.
Just
tell them
so
about
incredible.
that. Just for those suffering with rosacea right now. Just
exactly. Inspired by moi. And it's so funny, when I used to send Jen some of the prescriptions that I was on, Rofade Phoenicia, that the derm prescribed, she would look at the ingredient list and say like, whoa, throw that out. It is full of such bad ingredients.
Usually it's a drying alcohol, because they use like the drying alcohols to drive the actives into the skin, but then you're damaging the skin barrier. Listen, I'm not here to say don't listen to your dermatologist.
Of course, yeah.
But I have very sensitive skin too, so I think that's why I'm probably such a good guinea pig for all these products, because anyone's gonna break out, get a rash, burn their skin, it's gonna be me. So I always think about the holistic rounding of the formula. So we like to say effective, not aggressive. So we always will look at how do we treat without damaging the skin barrier. Big proponent of skin barrier.
And it's also how do you make it the most effective on this? You know how you take vitamins and then people will be like, you're not taking the right vitamins, or you're not taking them at the right time of day.
They're flushing through your system.
It's and you're like, wait, what? I just took 70 pills. What do you mean? And I feel like sometimes the skin is like that if you're not putting the right things on in the right order even. Is that true? Does it have to be in the right order?
The order? Yeah. Yeah.
So I would say typically, like, there's certain things I wouldn't layer together. There's certain ingredients I wouldn't layer together just because they can be super irritating. Like, you probably want to avoid, like, doing an acid, like a glycolic lactic treatment, and then putting a retinol on top unless you have really hardy skin, right? But that could be too much for people. So there's certain things. It's not a lot, but there's certain things I wouldn't recommend using at the same time. So maybe you use the acids in the morning, you use your retinol at night, something like that. But I would say general rule of thumb is thinnest to thickest.
Ooh. Textures.
Really?
Yeah. That's why your serums go underneath your thicker moisturizer.
Because I feel like the extreme cream like seals everything.
It
at
does.
the end, right?
Thinner formulas have a lower molecular weight, so they tend to go in deeper, faster. Okay. And then you lock everything in with a higher molecular weight, which is typically your moisturizer, and it literally provides a seal. So it really keeps the serum in, keeps the hydration in, and also like seals things from getting in.
That's why I feel like it's like I use my serums. I feel like my extreme cream is that last layer that just seals. Because everyone's like, why do you put so much stuff on? I'm like, no, you have to really moisturize. I feel you forget. And a lot of us have drier skin than I think you realize, especially as you you hit menopause. And you get really significant changes. I think there's so many of us listening that you're going through, again, the beginning, especially perimenopause, these slight weight changes, mood changes, like skin, hair changes.
The dryness, the
really
irritation.
throws you off.
Yeah.
And I think this is the time that people forget, hydrate.
And this is the segment of the population that beauty companies have ignored forever and
Can
ever.
you talk about this, please? Because I couldn't agree with you more. And I think we have to change the conversation.
Absolutely. And that's why we were so drawn to you and your personality. Even before we formally started working together, I was like, holy shit, this woman is so confident, but she's so real. And guess what? She's not 30. Like she's older, but she's giving us all a voice. And even being a beauty founder, I'm 43. I always felt like I should not tell people my age because, like, that's too old. Like, forever want to be, like, 32 because, like, that's what a beauty founder should be. Or
that's what people are watching on TikTok. Like, if you're not that
kind
age,
of forgotten
no one's listening.
and you're irrelevant and you're not as beautiful anymore and all of that. And so I think you're doing so much for women. So just overall, thank you. Not even from a brand perspective, but forever beauty companies have spent millions and billions of dollars of marketing to women of all ages, but the only women they feature and show are beautiful models. And again, no shade. We all strive for that, but it's not realistic. That are like barely 30. And so for us, we they're
like early 20s, you guys, a lot of them. It is. You're looking
they
at
don't have a single thing
skin
going on with their skin.
Right. They're perfect. So when people are like, oh, what are you doing with your skin? You're like, well, of course, they're 20.
So you see this firming lifting cream being advertised to you by X company, and this is the most perfect model. And not only that, she's retouched and she's like flawless. So anyway, so for us, it's really like listening and really going and now that social media has given so many more demographics a voice, it's seeing like there are real women out there that are struggling to find something that works for them. And also, you need to see yourself as a customer, the brand that you are looking to buy. You need to see yourself.
Earn money, really.
So we say we're multi-generational. It's really not about your age. It's about your skin concern. We want to make sure that we're featuring ages, everyone from 18 to 80. And if you have dry skin, if you have certain things that you're going through, we have a solution for you, but really focusing on this demographic that's forgotten and lost and allowing women to see themselves in someone like you and other people we work with, and even just the models we choose too.
You guys are so good about
very intentional.
It's just all walks of life, all different looks, all different skin types, all different ages. And it's just so important. Like you said, it's like to be able to see yourself, especially as an aging woman, there's a lot of comparison. You already feel down. You already don't feel like yourself. So the last thing you want to do is look at the most perfect version of yourself. It's more of like, what is that? Okay, she's trying her hardest. She's trying something. Something's looking like refreshed. To me, it's like refreshed is the look I'm looking for, not younger.
Healthy, refreshed and healthy and confident. And it's kind of going back to you wake up, you look in the mirror, and it's not about perfection. It's about saying, you know what? I'm having a good skin day. I like the way my skin looks. It's not perfect. I'm working on it. I'm being consistent. And I'm not the way I look like 20 years ago, but I'm really good with where I am.
It's true. It's like getting to that point where you actually just feel good in your own skin. Yeah. Because again, it's like I feel like we're constantly with social media, as good as it is. Of course, there's the backside of it that, again, there's a lot of comparison, a lot of jealousy, a lot of bullshit, to be honest, and a lot of, people promoting things they don't even really use. We all know, we all see it. Yeah. And I think that's what you guys have changed the game. And I think it's important to put that out there and say, because as a content creator, as a consumer, I want to invest in something. So again, investing means putting time into it. So nothing is going to work overnight. Nothing that you try once is going to work. Sorry, it doesn't work overnight. That's the truth.
No, if someone's claiming that there's an overnight result, it's not real.
It's just not real. And you're just using it once. It's like for you guys to invest in the people that you invest with, to work with, to be able to do a year, 6 months, where, again, you actually get to really use it, be consistent, and actually see results.
Yeah.
That's what I want to invest in. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to watch, especially as an older woman.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you guys are changing the game in, that beauty brands are starting to pay attention that there is this huge demographic of women that, number one, have money, are spenders, are shoppers, and actually could really benefit. Like, they're the ones really benefiting from it. So why aren't we paying attention to these incredible women that it's their second half of life? It's not over. You're just getting started. And I think it's like, since when can't we have fabulous skin at 50?
Absolutely.
60.
And then there's like the other spectrum of it, which I don't know. I think everyone's got a different opinion, but there are these brands coming out, and I know it's a hot topic. And I think aging and perimenopause and menopause is very important to really understand what's happening to your body and your skin. But then there are brands that are very much like, this is for menopause. And I don't know that I want to be, but it's like, and you walk into so I always say, like, whenever I walk into a store, I never say like, hi, I'm 43. What do you have for me? I always say, hi, I need a black dress. I need a pair of jeans. I need these shoes. I need this kind of foundation. I need this kind of skincare product. It's not about an age. It's about really a concern. It's about the quality, the efficacy, the ingredients, and all of that, the science. And so there are these brands now that are like, this is the menopause section. And so so it's in the corner over there.
Being shoved to the side.
That's also very strange and like borderline offensive. It's like, you don't want to be put in that menopause section corner. I think you want to be.
And women probably don't want to be seen in it. Do you know what I mean? I think it does make people uncomfortable. It's like going into like the condom section. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, truthfully, you're younger, like, not to be embarrassing, or like
you're wearing the baseball cap.
Really, or just even your husband having to go get tampons. Just stupid stuff that honestly, for whatever reason, psychologically makes you uncomfortable, and now you're going to deter those people.
So we're very much about, like, it's not about your age. It's about your skin concern. It's about the science that we give you in our skincare, the efficacy, the results, and we embrace you at 18, at 40, at 60, at 80, and you're going to see results if you're using the right products and you're consistent. And it's about the confidence and just really loving yourself. And that's what drew us to you, because your whole thing was like, get up and show up for yourself. And as women past 40,
no one's coming to save you.
We forget about that.
We always say putting your oxygen mask on first, making sure that you're taking care of yourself, because
it would never occur to us.
It just doesn't occur to us. Like, we're running around like chickens with our head cut off. We like don't eat.
The
we
kids,
don't
the
sleep.
job, the husband,
yes,
this,
we don't
that.
get ready, put ourselves together. We don't take care of our skin. You know, it's that just taking that little bit of time for yourself every day to be that best version of you. So then that's what you're putting out in the world or trickling down. And it's funny that women in general, you're running the household, you're making some of the most important decisions, you are dealing with the most important people, yet you're a hot mess. Like, I will never understand
unfair.
It's unfair. And it's okay to like take care of yourself. And I think it starts with skincare, on what you're eating.
10 minutes in the morning and that consistent skincare routine, and 10-15 minutes at night will change your life.
Where did this love story begin?
This love story has been a long time love story.
This is a marriage, guys.
It is.
Some friendships are better than some marriages.
This is a total marriage, and this is partnership and everything. So Jen and I were both working at a skincare brand based in New York, called Tula, and we were super early employees there, and it was a small private equity backed indie brand, and we really helped grow that brand to be a massive success. It ultimately got acquired by Procter & Gamble. And at the time, we worked so closely together, and I was on the marketing side, Jen was product development, and we were very passionate about skincare. And there was a fundamental change happening in the landscape, where we saw beautiful brands like Drunk Elephant, You to the People, Herbivore Botanicals, Beauty Counter come to the market and scream clean and scream non-toxic and really talk about that element. And I think it really was important for a lot of women. And so for us, we were like, okay, clean is important, but then what about the efficacy? We want to make sure that they're actually delivering and performing and changing the look of the skin and all the visible signs that you see with aging, pimples, pores, texture, etc. So what else we noticed was all these brands were pretty pricey. The average U.S. salary is still around $45,000 a year. So what that tells you is the average woman just cannot go in and afford a skincare routine at that level. So we were just like, what if we were able to do this? And what if we were able to do that? And kind of dreaming up this brand in this white space that we clearly saw. And at one point we were just like, we can't shut up about this. We owe it to ourselves.
Really? Were you like
to quit our jobs and do this?
Yeah.
Just like because like for me it is, it's like you're constantly thinking. It's
well, we had such a similar vision too. So we just like felt like it was
and we're
kismet.
such yin and yang too. Like we work so perfectly together because we trust each other inherently in the spaces that we are good at. And so I would never be like, Jen, you should change your formula to do this. Like I trust her completely as far as that. And I think she's a genius in that space, and hopefully you feel the same.
I do.
But and that's really that perfect partnership too in business. Like people always say like, how are there two founders and they're going to fight and they're going to hate each other?
Yeah. As being women, do you find it hard? Do you find that women look at you guys and be like, how do you do it? Because I get so many comments about like, that women just don't support each other. They're hard to work with. That, I mean, you hear it all.
Yeah. I think it's women for sure, but it's also just typically when you have two co-founders who have very strong visions for something, that's why like when our vision aligns so closely, like that's what we go back to. Like even if we disagree, we're like, okay, what's the core DNA of the brand? Let's talk it through. What's best for the brand. We both want what's best for the brand.
It's never about ego, and ultimately it's about our customer.
You have to remove your ego.
You have to remove your ego. Right.
And so I think that's where a lot of like maybe co-founders go into it, and like they both have big egos and they're fighting each other.
It's about you rather than about the
correct.
customer.
We're like,
or the
what is best for the customer? What is best for the brand?
Absolutely.
That's what we always go back to.
Absolutely. What's going to make her want to buy it and use it and love it and feel good about herself? And so we ultimately quit our jobs, started this brand.
Is that
launched.
scary, you guys? Yeah. For all the women, I mean, I get so many people who are like want to start over or have been doing something for a long time. And I do think a lot of women have a second half, and like it doesn't mean you can't pivot.
I mean, we quit some really good jobs.
You
like,
really
we
did. Can you guys just talk about that a little bit for anyone just shitting their pants, dying to make a move like this, maybe talking to their best friend and being like, shit, should we start something? Because I just think women are so powerful right now because women are just starting businesses from their phone, which wasn't possible for our moms.
Their phone, their home,
their
whatever.
homes, in their bedroom,
computer.
in their bedroom taking a photo. So what is that advice? Was it scary? What was the scariest part? Can you give some advice on that? Because I think there's a lot of women wanting to change.
I do have one perspective on it, and I do think that this is where I think we relate so well. For me, it is all about experience and also like knowing what your end goal is and having a playbook to get there. And I always say when we were talking about this business and even talking to different business partners and investors, I'm not 25 with a dream, I'm 40 with a plan. And so that was always very important. We had a playbook. We knew this industry. And that's why I did feel confident that we were going to be successful. How long it was going to take us, no one knew. The struggles, the ups, the downs, no one knew. But I felt like I knew what I was doing, where I think a lot of times you hope to start something and you're just not properly prepared for it. And so that's my best piece of advice. Know your end goal, have some kind of playbook, have some experience.
Knowledge is power. People are always trying to rush to the end. People all the time, I'm like, I would never have appreciated this or been able to work as hard or do what I'm doing now at 20. I would
and
be
have the
fucking
clarity.
Around. No, the quality, the determination, the hustle, the
appreciation for the success.
Yes, like I worked 10 times harder than I ever did.
Like, could you do this at 25? Sure. I'm sure you could, but it would be so different. I would have thrown it out the window.
Are you joking? I would have been like, as much as you're, you have something important tomorrow, do you go out with your friends the night before? Probably. Well, now you couldn't pay me. It's those little decisions that I agree with you. It's like, it's not over for you. Patience, time, experience is your best friend and discipline. And I think that's what honestly makes, so it's like, get that experience under your belt and understand what you're doing. That's the best advice
Don't
ever.
feel like you're being timed out.
My add to that would be, don't be I hate the word fail. I think it doesn't really, like, what's the worst that can happen? I think confront your fear. What's the worst that happens? It fails and you move on to something else. Like, you will make it through. I think everybody's so afraid to fail, and it's really a lesson. It's not a failure. And maybe that quote unquote failure or lesson helps you then build to the next.
And anyone judging that is just because they're not willing to try.
Right.
It's like failing is like an example that you tried something. And that's pretty badass.
Like I'd rather have the story and like the lesson than to never have taken the chance.
Right. So when you guys decided, did you guys go to your husbands? Were you guys single?
We did go to our family. What did you support us in this venture?
Yeah, my husband's he's like, whatever you want to do, it's, like, I support you. So he's pretty good about that in that way.
It's amazing because I get a lot of women that are like, how does John support you? And it's funny, it's like the people that love you should support you and want to see you happy. And if it's time to move on or time to try something new, and again, we're all so much smarter than we think and we're capable. And a lot of the times we cap out because we're moms, because we have kids and we're married, that we don't keep trying.
Having that support system and just having people, one, be there for you. The highs are high, the lows are low. Yeah. I think we all know that. Yeah. So having them support you and having that, whether it's husbands, wives, friends, family, mom, dad, whatever, sister, like you need to have somebody around you.
Did anyone say don't do it? You guys are losing your minds. They did, right?
Of course.
They're like, you have a steady job, steady income. Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. And then you were like.
And also, not for nothing, but investors. A lot of investors said no. I think when we first started raising venture capital money and everything, and we met, you have to find the right investors that align with your vision, just like you have to find the right co-founder if you want one that aligns with your vision.
That know your space.
And know your space, that understand it. So we were getting a lot of
advice.
Tech investors who wanted to get into beauty, and they didn't understand the beauty space. And so their question was, well, when are you going to be $1 billion company? Like that's different. Like beauty industry is a very different
industry. It's like a 20-40 year plan to get to $1 billion company.
Like you're used to
like gray.
Apps or software companies just shooting to $1 billion, and it's different. So obviously we waited and we met with a lot of different investors. They tend to be older gentlemen, which can be interesting because they're giving you advice on beauty products and you're like, really? You just take it in stride and take it with a grain of salt. But we heard a ton of no's before we found our like core investors, and they've been with us since the beginning, and they're fantastic.
Since the beginning, they believe in us.
Really?
They know the space.
Yeah, they're great.
They trust us. Yeah.
And it was never, and I know it's scary, but that was like, what keeps you going is just the belief in the product, right? Like even with all the no's, because the struggles are hard at the beginning with the money, the
hard.
I mean, it's hard.
Yeah, we launched just before COVID.
Yeah.
So we started
November
our brand.
2019.
Right. And then COVID hit. None of us really knew. I think right now we know in hindsight how long it was and how painful it was and just all of the different implications with retail and stores being closed and all of that. So, but we had no idea. We thought, oh, we're going to be home for a week or two and then we'll all, come back to our regular lives.
And this is where I would say be prepared, because we were our own warehouse for a year. We packed boxes every day. Our husbands packed boxes for 6 hours a day and hauled them over to the post office.
But everyone thinks it's so glamorous.
No, it's
not.
so
funny. It's like
the paper cuts.
Literally, the glamour is at 4 a.m. You're crying on the floor, like
packing boxes.
People don't realize how really
you're truly crying because you're so tired, and you just have to.
You just push through.
There's Mary waiting for her cream. You got to deliver it. You got to pack it up and send it to her.
We got you. I know. Oh my God, it's so true. Okay, so then where did INNBEAUTY, what did the name come from?
Yeah, you want to take this one?
There are all these words, and we were playing around with, what do we call this thing? We don't want to make it too personal, not like our dogs or a kid's name. But we wanted to really evoke like independence and innovation and all these words that started with
individuality, inspiration. Like we whiteboarded all these things. We were like, what do we want the brand to embody?
Okay.
And we were like, okay, there's a lot of words here with like IN. And so we're like, what about like, we add
adding an extra N for emphasis
and call it INNBEAUTY. And then it's a project because I would say this is something we're both very aligned on.
Yes.
We are ever evolving, and we're not afraid to take feedback from our customers, from whoever it may be, and like really process it and say, do we need to pivot? Do we need to change? Like we're here for the customers. We're not here for, again, our ego. Like I think we're both good at like checking the ego at the door.
Yeah.
We're here for the customers. And so like we're ever evolving. We're ready to pivot if you need us to pivot. Like we want to do the best by you, our customer.
Has there been ever a moment that you had to pivot?
I call it the power of agility. Absolutely. So
really?
I think our brand, so one of the things, just being a marketer and working at, big companies like L'Oreal and P&G and some smaller companies, one of like my big beliefs is there's this old school belief that you launch a product and you have this brand and you have your DNA, and that is what you have to stick to for 10, 20, 30 years, and you cannot stray. And if your colors are blue, then you have to be blue forever. And if you're
it's like the death of your company.
And
right?
if this is your product, then this is your hero product forever. And I just don't think that's true anymore. The customer's evolving, technology is evolving, customer needs are evolving. The way you take care of your skin is evolving.
I mean, brands are coming up out of nowhere.
Absolutely.
Right?
So I call this one of our superpowers, and it's the power of agility. And it doesn't mean that we're consistently changing our minds, but we're really listening to the industry. We're looking at competitive, we're looking at our customer base, we're looking at retail trends, and we're making these small tweaks and being agile as far as marketing, products, innovation, how we speak to our customer, to be able to stay relevant forever. And I look at certain brands that were so successful 5-10 years ago, and they've been so consistent. And I look at them today, and like they feel tired. There's nothing new. There's no surprise and delight. There's no like, oh, wow, this is what they have now. Like that kind of, that like element of surprise and innovation just ceases to exist. And so we're not going to be the same brand as we are today 10 years from now. Hopefully we'll be even better, even bigger, evolving, relevant. And so that idea of relevance is so important to us too. That's why we're not afraid to say like, oh, if this product like didn't work for this reason, we either need to change the messaging, we need to get better at, you know.
Really, yeah.
We'll even tweak formulas. You know, if we hear the feedback from the consumer that, you know, it's not hitting one of their needs in the right way, like we're not afraid to, you know, tweak and change and adapt.
That's amazing.
And so one of the biggest pivots for us when we first launched, we were one of the first, I'd say, brands coming out that was this next generation of brands, you know, like after the Drunk Elephants and that wave of clean, non-toxic. And we were very bright, attractive packaging. And right away, the industry noticed that. And we really, that was very strategic and very intentional. We wanted to pop on screen. We wanted to pop on social and pop on shelf. And right away, because there was also so much talk and so much buzz about Gen Z, we were coined as the next Gen Z skincare brand. And we embraced it for as long as it made sense. However, there was this tension where what was in the formula Jen formulates and just the type of ingredients she looks for and just the skin transformation that the products deliver were far beyond Gen Z. So this is where we were like, we don't want to be a Gen Z brand. We want to be a brand that solves skin concerns for all ages. Again, 18 to 80.
So much bigger than that.
Yeah.
Right.
There's already a lot of great, I call them do no harm basic brands. Like they're great for just hydration and like, you know, protection of the skin, but my whole passion as a formulator is like pushing the boundaries of topical skincare. Like I think people get so caught up in like, oh, you can only hydrate and you can only do, and I'm like, no, you can actually do more if you're actually researching and looking what's happening, all the mechanisms, pathways within skin, and you like really address them with like clinically tested actives, and you formulate and cocktail. Like I always like to say it's like a symphony. Like they all work together and they have to all play nice together. But you can actually change skin in a much more dramatic way than people think.
You can reduce lines.
Plump. Go to our website, look at some of the before and afters. You can make some radical changes. It'll certainly prolong need for procedures.
It really does.
Yeah. Oftentimes you're rushing to get something to market. You take a stock formula, you add one ingredient, you put your name on it, and then what happens is 5 brands launch the same thing. Like that's not exciting to me. We build everything from the ground up. And
you're all in-house, right?
So yeah, we create our own formulas. Everything's custom to us. I literally will go find the ingredients. I go to all the ingredient shows. I'm looking at all the data. I'm doing all the research. Yeah. And that's not often done. So I think that's what really sets us apart.
Honestly.
But like we're also making a huge investment in clinicals. So this is not common, right? We really believe in third-party independent clinicals. We do clinical measurements. So not just perception. So it's not like I feel my skin is firmer. It's actually looking at machine measurement showing your skin is firmer, like by X%, right?
This is actually something that I don't think the average customer realizes.
No,
they don't. It's a really important
They don't.
One.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to emphasize. This is amazing.
So explain perception studies.
Yeah. So perception is what often, and again, no shade, this is what a lot of brands do because it's a tenth of the cost of clinical measurements. So you give the product to a panel of men and women. They don't know what the product is. They use it and they like answer a questionnaire.
Okay.
So there's no actual measurements involved. And so you might say 98% of users felt they had firmer skin. 98% saw brighter skin.
Okay.
So it's when you say they saw or they feel, that's like a key to say, okay, that's perception.
Okay.
And then what we do is clinical measurements. So the face is scanned by a machine. We use different machinery that's in a third party, so we're not involved. It's all above board.
Right.
And they're using the product and they're actually getting their skin measured at different time points.
By an objective individual. So it's not how you feel or how you look.
Well, it's
an
individual.
individual.
Like a clinician, like a machine
It's a
that's
machine
actually
measurement.
taking measurements of
so the
change.
subjectivity gets taken out of the equation
absolutely.
in the best way.
Cool. Honestly, didn't know that.
But we spend $100,000 to $200,000 per final formula, which is not typical. So I've worked for some big companies and I've worked for indie companies. I've never had this budget, but because I'm a co-founder, I'm like, this is important. I think when we're putting Extreme Cream out for $48, right? Like my whole thing is, and this has always been my passion, you do not need to decide, am I going to pay my rent or am I going to eat ramen all month so I can buy a serum? Like, that's crazy to me. You can
take care of myself.
Or take care of yourself, right? And so, but then you get the cohort of people that are like, well, it's $48. Is it really that good? And I'm like, listen, we do things very differently from the beginning. Like we've flipped supply chain on its head. That's how we're able to do it, and we can explain that. But the clinical measurements, that investment is how we prove to you. Because I'm saying, go look at our clinicals. Go to any site, whether you're looking at a Medi Spa brand, something that you pay $300 for, look at their clinicals.
Compare the data, compare the ingredient lists.
Because my whole thing is, I'm not just making the best product because we're in Sephora, we're exclusive to Sephora. I'm not making the best product in Sephora. I'm looking at it all. I want to make the best product, period. Like when I say I want to push boundaries, like I truly mean that. I want to create something that hasn't been done before that really is a revolution in that, space and can really transform skin in a way people don't think is possible. Like that's my passion and why I spend so much time and research on it.
And most brands don't do it because, again, spending $100 to $200, it's so much money. And then every marketer will tell you, let's put that into customer acquisition. Let's put that into top of funnel marketing, just getting in front of customers. But that's our trust engine. That's how when people write, like, how do I trust this? How do I know that you're better? Or you're going to do what you claim to do? It's the clinicals and it's the data.
Well, it's like we have to change people's minds and I think conversations to be like, just because it's more expensive does not mean it's better. Making people understand that the proof is in the pudding, it's in the numbers, it's in the clinical.
Right.
The price what it should be costing.
We can easily make everything $200. Like be laughing all the way to the bank.
I wish I could take people behind the scenes so they understand like just what I've learned from 20 years in the industry. And like everybody usually just says, well, that's how they're doing it. And they got acquired by L'Oreal or Lauder. So like we're going to do the same thing. Like we're going to set margins at the same percent. So for us, like, because Alisa's like, well, you want to create these crazy formulas with like, so like a good formula on the market probably has 1 to 3 clinically proven actives, right? At the active level. That's considered a great product. Our formulas have 8, 9, 10, 11. Like it depends on the formula.
Sometimes more.
And those are expensive. That's the expense in the formula. So we had to like rethink supply chain.
Oh my God.
In a way that nobody's done before.
Okay.
So let's say I'm creating this product. So we do the formula. I'm like, this is how I want my formula to be. I have to make it with a manufacturer who's got huge equipment and kettles and a clean facility. So I'm like, I want you to make this for me.
Okay.
They're like, okay, that'll be $10 a piece, right? But they don't break out for you what the raw materials cost, what's fill and assembly, what's labor. They don't break it out for you. So of course they're like, if you have 60 ingredients, we'll order them. Don't worry. We'll take that off your plate. Okay. What they don't tell you is the markup they're taking on it.
Of course, they got to make money.
Right. They're taking a massive markup.
They don't really tell you what it is because it's like one lump sum. Like.
Right. So on the expensive actives, when you're putting 10 in, you can't afford it because they're like, that $10 formula, if you want to put more actives in, would be $20 or $30. You can't afford it. So most brands they'll just take it and say, okay, well, we can only afford 1 to 3. We're like, no, we're going to order the raw materials ourselves, which is a lot of extra work, but it enables us to put something truly different out on the market.
Eliminating
that's
that
better.
30-40% markup even
it's
higher.
Huge.
When you're buying it ourselves. It's saying I want this salad, but I'm buying the ingredients myself.
Yeah.
Just
you're
toss
making
the salad.
Your own fucking salad.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
well, you
buying
toss
your own
it.
ingredients instead of ordering it from Goop. We love Gwen, but like, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, yes, is it, $10 at home, $35.
Because at the end of the day, it's about the customer. If we have a price point that is the barrier, she's not going to use it. She's not going to be consistent. So the price point is always very important to us.
Yeah.
And so we don't want to be cheap. But it's always about like, what's the best value? How low can we get it and still deliver the highest level of efficacy, quality, integrity, experience, everything?
Right. Yeah. So you went out and started shopping around your own material.
Yes. If you're getting organic quinoa for your salad, you're getting the same organic quinoa, but they're making it at Goop for you.
Exactly.
Or Weber Sweet Green.
Right.
They're upcharging you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because
it's
their time,
for the
their
delivery,
service,
whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly. We don't skimp on quality. I only look at ingredients that have been clinically tested on human subjects, not just like cells in a petri dish, because I don't think that always translates. So it's the same quality, great ingredients, but we're supplying them. So we're saving like 50% on the cost of those materials. And then that really enables us to put a better product out. I can put more actives in and we can charge less.
That's amazing.
But like nobody's doing
work,
it.
But
it's a lot more work.
It's a lot more work.
It's worth it.
But sometimes it really is
it's worth it.
Sometimes those shortcuts, you end up paying double because you fuck it up and then you've got to like redo it, buy the next cream, and then all of a sudden you've spent double.
And I think that's the magic. Yeah, and that's the magic of Extreme Cream and why it's been such a phenomenon.
Yeah.
It's a top
is that
selling.
your hero project? Product,
Extreme
you guys.
Cream
What do you guys would you say is the hero product?
It started with Extreme Cream, and I think pivoting to really opening up our audience and customer base beyond just Gen Z to women of all age and working with people like you. Like I think that was such a critical pivotal point in our brand too, and that moment where we were like, we got to change because this doesn't feel genuine to who we are too. Yeah. And we also want to be able to market to women like us and our age.
So true.
And so Extreme Cream, when it launched, it was a formula that just didn't have a competitor, from the ingredients to the texture to the refillable bottle to every element of it, and just the what it delivered from an efficacy perspective, what you saw happen to your skin, what women all over saw happen to their skin. I remember getting a help email where someone wrote in and said, you know, I'm in my 70s, like I look so good, like is this legal?
But it's true. My mom uses it. I mean, she's 87.
That changed the game for us.
She has good skin, but still, what is the most important product? Like, what are the most important ingredients to you? Like, what do you look for? What to you is like must have?
Yeah, the clinicals. So I always look at the data. So there's, I mean, tens of thousands of ingredients you can source, right? Okay. So that's why like a big part of my job is this treasure hunt for these ingredients, but I'm always looking at the data. So oftentimes there'll be testing, again, raw material suppliers are similar to brands and they want to give you results in the cheapest way possible. Yeah. And so they'll test on cells in a petri dish.
Okay.
But just because you're seeing some movement or activity in the cells does not always translate to a human being with our stress, our lifestyle, our diet, right? So that would be considered in vitro in a petri dish. Then there's ex vivo, which is like a piece of skin in a petri dish, like whether that's human skin or animal skin, and they look at how does that changing. But again, I'm like, it's not attached to any living human being with all the stress and everything going on. So there's something called in vivo, and that's when the suppliers spend the money and do the larger tests on living human subjects that, you know, are using it and testing it and getting measurements done on their skin. So again, not perception measurements. And so that's like my guiding star. I only look at those. We're only playing with those.
And what
what is peptide? Like the number one ingredient in there that you were like has to be in this?
Yeah. So when we were thinking about extreme cream, right, we were thinking about moisturizers. So many good moisturizers on the there is a lot of good moisturizers in the market, and it was our first foray into like pro aging. And so I was like, this has to be different. This has to answer something that no other moisturizer has really answered. And so we looked at a lot of what's available, and they all speak to wrinkles. And, you know, that's true. But like, I come from a family of saggers, and I think you genetically typically tend to wrinkle or sag.
Yep.
And
especially if you lose weight, your face starts to
That's
sag,
another
right?
one that we should talk about with just the weight loss and what happens to your skin and the loss of firmness and elasticity. I think we're seeing a boom, and
huge boom.
Extreme cream all the way.
Yeah.
And head to toe.
And so I was like, I really want to impact the effects of gravity. Like, I want to really address firming and the sagging of skin, right? Versus just wrinkles. Obviously, extreme cream will also work on wrinkles. It has great wrinkle data, but working on sagging is much more difficult. And when I went on my little treasure hunt to find an ingredient, I found a very special peptide. It's called Versilin. It's a lifting peptide. It actually works on the fibrous connections between your ligaments and the top layer of your skin.
Oh, wow.
So it tightens those junctures up.
I call it Spanx.
We call it Spanx for your face.
Like Spanx for your face.
That's what it is?
Yeah, it's a very special lifting peptide. And I'd never seen a peptide work in this way until I found this one. So I was very excited about that. That's really the core crux of the formula. And then we also have a really cool plant-based retinol alternative. We always get the question, is there retinol in this? Or is not? It's not retinol. It works differently, but same benefits. It actually clinically proven to have better benefits than retinol, but no irritation. And it's from the Nikka benthomiana plant, because everybody has heard of bakuchiol, and I'm like, bakuchiol's data
I know, everyone, that's like the new hot, I feel like last year that was the hot ingredient
and
serum that everybody was buying.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah. And
the
so, but
data's
the innovation, it's something new now.
Right.
Yeah.
But when I saw the data on this one, I was like, this crushes bakuchiol. Like, it really, and it's so much, the data is so much better on the tightening of the skin, the shrinking of the pores, the brightening of the face. Like, it just, the smoothing, like the data is, the wrinkles, the data is like phenomenal.
Amazing.
Yeah. So we build that way, and we're also like, what kind of texture do we want?
Texture is gorgeous. There's another texture on the market that is similar. It's $300.
What?
It's a reverse emulsion, so it's not typical. Typically, 99% of the moisturizers on the market are regular emulsions.
Yeah.
So we reversed it, which means we have, instead of a small oil droplet inside of a larger oil droplet, we flip it. So we use a small water droplet inside of a larger oil droplet. Less water in a formula means more expensive. That's why you don't see it a lot on the market.
Right.
But it gives you, especially for like that pro-aging client, like a much more nourishing effect on the skin. You're getting more of that like locking in the hydration, but it doesn't feel heavy. Like, I hate a moisturizer that feels like wax on the face.
Yep.
I hate it. I want it to sink in. I want it to
be extreme.
Yeah, I don't want it to feel
light,
greasy.
but you feel like it's on.
And when you put makeup on, it doesn't like move and slip and slide.
No.
Yeah. So
How do you feel about hyaluronic acid?
I was just going to tell you.
Can you tell? Because I don't know why I saw this freaking thing on TikTok that said that it was like a lot of the wrinkles is dehydration. I don't know.
True.
And they were saying to slather on the 100% hyaluronic acid. What is your honest opinion on
My
this?
honest opinion is it's cheap. That's why you see it in everything.
Okay.
We chose to use snow mushroom in extreme cream combined with an ingredient called glycerol glucoside, which is actually opening up like skin's river pathways to like help glycerin and water transport to deeper levels of the skin. And then the snow mushroom is actually way more effective than hyaluronic acid and less irritating. So hyaluronic acid can irritate a lot of people, can cause inflammation, microinflammation in the skin, which we don't want. We want to avoid that, right? Yep. And if you're dry and you're putting hyaluronic acid on and you're not locking it in, it causes excess water to leave the skin. So it makes you drier. So I don't love it. There's actually a newer technology which is fermented, which we may be working on in a product next year, which has way different effects in data and isn't irritating. And I've seen all of those studies. But I think regular hyaluronic acid, it's cheap. That's why you're seeing it everywhere.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Snow mushroom is 20 times more expensive.
You guys, we need to have a whole powwow.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is all fascinating because, again, it's what's hard. So much information comes at you. Obviously, we were raised watching our moms slather. I mean, my mom had 2 pounds of makeup on and all the creams and all the things. And again, it's like you just get so much information. Half the time, you're just like, whatever, I'll just get that. I'll try that.
Well,
and
something's better than nothing.
About it.
So if you're doing something,
that's
take
true.
care of your skin in some way, shape, or form, and just.
But it's just nice knowing that when you actually understand what the product can do, and it's like more simplified. And for me, it's like that one-stop shop. I'm more likely to follow a routine that's simple. Yeah. I think as moms and as women, we don't have as much time. I'm exhausted. I remember when the kids were little, I just was exhausted. The last thing I wanted to do was wash my face and deal. So the simpler, I think, and the more effective at the right cost, I feel like is a win-win.
Right. Which is why when we create a formula, like I want it to be all encompassing for you. Like there's some brands out there that are like sub $20, but you have to buy 6 products and then I have to figure out how to layer
and cocktail it yourself. And so, but that's dangerous too. You don't know what you're doing.
So you
shouldn't cocktail anything yourself unless you're
educated.
educated.
We think about it all for you. Like that's part of like our point of difference, right? Like even though we're not sub $20, you don't have to buy 6 products.
Right. That's what I
And it's already thought about for you.
Does your whole family use this? Are you guys, is everyone
My husband
hooked?
is stealing mine, and I tell him, what are you doing? Go to Sephora, support your wife. Extreme Cream is, I think, one of the products that will make a huge transformation in your skin if you're consistent with it morning and night. It feels really luxe when you put it on immediately, but then it's got this really gorgeous water break from that reverse emulsion texture. Try it. If you don't like it, go return it.
Extreme Cream Eye, too.
It's so, wait, will you guys tell, okay, so if someone wanted to come in and say, okay, what are a couple products? I want to invest in this. I want to try, what would be your go-to for the average everyday woman?
I would absolutely say Extreme Cream Eye and Extreme Cream.
Yeah,
those would be
Extreme Cream.
Just
like
you
you can
start
just buy
there.
one
Start
thing.
there. Yeah.
Start
and
with
what if
Extreme
somebody
Cream.
wanted to add on? They've tried Extreme Cream, they love it. What would be the next add-in that would be really good?
Yeah, go ahead.
So
let's see what you both say.
So regardless of what's going on, I think you hit a certain point, a certain age where you wake up and you just don't look as good and as youthful and as alive as you used to. And for me, that's the eye area. And I think a lot of us don't recognize that is the eye area, but it really is. That's where you start to see aging first. That's where you start to see the thinning of the skin first.
Your eyelids droop,
the
and you look more.
droopiness,
They're actually your eye opening is closed.
Yes.
And so I noticed that as soon as I started using an eye cream and taking care of the eye area, I just felt a lot more confident and less puffy and less tired and less sunken.
Yeah.
And so I think eye creams weren't a thing back then. And
because a lot of them don't work.
And there's so much where it's just
really
put on
believed
your
in eye creams.
moisturizer around your eye. You can, but they're also very specific clinically tested ingredients, which is what Jen looks for all over the world, that are clinically proven to help the eye area, that are created for the sensitive eye area. If you have sensitive eyes, ophthalmologist tested formula.
It's true. I thought it was a waste of time. I'll be honest with you. There was a point where you're
I would say a lot of them are. A lot of them are because
I don't know if it's really any different.
Yeah, there's no difference. But for the Extreme Cream Eye, I would say it's the #1 eye cream in Sephora North America.
#1 eye cream. Sephora.
We're very proud of it. But it has 11 actives. So again,
and after hearing that most of them have 3, I mean, now we understand.
After 12 weeks, measurements. And by the way, we give average improvements, so not up to. So if you have a panel of women and men and maybe one person had this drastic result, you'll see a lot of brands say up to. We give average because I want anybody walking into the store to understand this is maybe what I can expect, the average improvement, right? Okay. After 12 weeks, 74% of the wrinkles are gone.
What?
Yeah.
It's a game changer. Not only
I
that,
don't know
it
if
helps
everyone heard that.
lift.
Hold on, 74%?
Yeah. Average improvement. We had a 37% average reduction in eyelid sagging and a 39%
I think that's one of the
reduction
biggest
in
things
puffiness.
because again, that's really hard to do unless you're shooting
and
up
funny,
a lot.
This one doesn't bother me, but this one does.
Botox.
It's one of them does. That's what's so strange. It's not both of them now.
Yeah. And it also works on puffiness, which we're addressing also, like, because you can get puffy from 2 ways, right? So this is where, like, I dive in and I want to understand everything that's happening. Is that where
everyone's always like eye rolling the ice and everything?
Yes.
It's the puffiness.
Well, you wake up puffy, you have all this fluid.
You have the fluid. So you can actually get puffiness from 2 ways. You can get a loss of density under the fat pad, which then exaggerates the fat pad. So we want to redensify that skin. That's one way. But nobody else is talking about lymphatic drainage in the eye area, which gives you the puffiness above and below the eye. So we have ingredients in this formula that are clinically tested on moving the lymph fluid out of the eye area, which is pretty crazy. And so that's what you're seeing. Most puffiness eye products on the market are more like an instant tightening that may look like a little cakey under makeup or whatever. This is actual long-term improvement results. Like, you'll see long-term puffiness results.
That is insane. Yeah. What's coming up? Because, I mean, you guys were at the U.S. Open.
So much good
you
stuff.
Guys were, I mean, you guys are
Miami Open.
Killing it. You guys are killing it. What is coming up? What's your hopes in the next 5 years, besides obviously maybe retiring and spending time with your family? But no, truly, what is coming up for INNBEAUTY? Because I just feel like you guys are changing the game one day at a time.
We're changing the game. It's always about our customer.
Yeah.
We always want to form a deeper connection with that woman that's struggling to feel good and confident about her skin. Women, so that's something that we're going to be spending more time on. And we're a product-led company. Yeah. I think there's so many skincare brands. We know them. We love them. They're marketing-led. And we always say, like, we're not here for the vibes. We're here for the results. And so everything for us is always going to be about efficacy, benefit, product-led. There's some innovation coming next year.
Really
that is freaking amazing.
Really
like, we can't say too much about it because
something that's never
Tell us one secret.
It's so good. It's so good.
Something that's never been achieved in the skincare industry ever.
Like, think about sun damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hyperpigmentation.
Okay. That's really hard to treat. We're trying to flip the script and say it's possible without lasers. And
that was my biggest insecurity was the hyperpigmentation. I'll be honest with you.
Women of all skin tones, all walks of life deal with it in very different ways.
And it moved. It went from here. Then it was here. Then I had some here. And I was like, what is happening? Honestly, it makes you feel really insecure.
And it makes you feel like you have to put on makeup every day. And
you can't cover it. I mean, you really can't. I mean, you just look crazy. That would be freak. I've been like, I used to use the Triluma and bleach my face, and then you walked outside, the sun would it would be worse. It was like it was a vicious cycle.
Yep.
I think we all just want something that works. I think we're tired of the bullshit.
Yeah.
I think we're ready to pull the screens back and be like, okay, and I think as you get older, you're like, where is my money going? Who am I investing in? Like, am I just paying for your yacht, or are you actually making my skin change?
Right.
And like, then I'm happy to pay for your yacht. But like, again, it's like, what are those results? What are you really doing to change the game? And I think you guys just being very aware of women our age says a lot, just because we are a forgotten group. We just are. The amount of women like that DM me or text me, and it's like how women just feel so overlooked or feel like their life's over. And yet I have friends who have never looked better, like literally in their 50s.
In their prime.
Like, never looked
100%.
better and like so successful. Where you're like, wait, since when did anyone think we were the Golden Girls? Like, when did they think we were
doesn't that drive you nuts?
Drives me. It was my age. The Golden Girls were literally my age, and I was like, wait, what? I love them, but
we do love the Golden Girls.
We love the Golden Girls, but it's like it is. I feel like there's this new evolution of women, like you said, waking
it's very
up,
empowering.
Empowering.
Yes.
People have put in the work, the time. They're smart. They do their research. They're not idiots. We're not just buying whatever crap anyone's telling us. Like, we want to see results. We want to put our money where, it makes sense. And we want to feel good about it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what you guys are doing, which
we're going to continue to.
God.
And work with you and women like you and of all ages to make sure that they're seen. Yeah.
What has been that one moment that you guys felt like, okay, we're doing this, like, we got this? Like, has there been just this like pinch me moment? Because I think when you have a brand, like, if people ask all the time, like, what is that? And it's like, what made you feel like we've made it, or what makes you feel like
I spend about 30 minutes to an hour every night just scouring social media and looking all of the tag TikToks and posts. And so when I see women say like, this freaking changed my life, I will never stop using this product.
This works. Like,
that's when I get really emotional, and I'm like, okay, this is the goal. I always say we are so privileged to work in an industry and in a space where our goal is to make people feel beautiful and confident.
Me too,
I feel so privileged to be in this position.
Job in the world.
And when I see that's happening, and someone's like, oh, like there was a video that we looked at the other day. This she's probably in her 30s. She's like, my acne scars like are gone. Like this is like freaking it. And she was so passionate about
secret sauce.
It's the secret sauce. And she was
really
even like, I don't even want to make a video about this because if it goes viral, like it might sell out. And so that type of passion, we didn't pay her. I don't know who she is. She went to Sephora. She bought the product. Like when I see that passion, because you know why? Because she looks in the mirror and she sees something she likes.
Yeah. She probably recognizes herself again.
Yeah. And that's why those are the pinch me moments, because that's why we do it.
For sure.
That's how I feel too. Yeah. I mean, I think that's why we always connected, just because again,
the women that write to you that,
oh my God, the people who get I'm sending right now the extreme cream to somebody in Australia because they can't get it.
No
or
way.
she can't afford it and whatever. And I was like, I'm sending you one. And so we're sending her the fucking eye cream.
I love that. I love that.
But it's like, I think I get DMs all the time of like the excitement or just the new lease on life. Yeah. And I think that's where...
And it's as simple as just getting dressed. How many of us spend days in pajamas?
I mean, or when did we, or at least used to, or thought that was the right uniform? And it's like, at the end of the day, us looking good, it is medicine. You taking care of yourself is medicine.
And the first thing people notice about you is your face.
Absolutely. That is your face. And your skin. My son now is very concerned. What do you suggest for high schoolers? Because I know boys, I think we don't give them enough credit. They do care. Like my son wants to wear the masks.
They want to be cute.
They want to look good. My husband is literally putting all, if you saw John, you would die laughing.
Shout out to your husband. The most
we love John.
Loyal, loving man. He really following you around with the camera and the phone.
He's
the best.
He has like all the shit
God
on.
bless him.
He has his own extreme cream next to the saying. What is like I know we shouldn't be promoting, I know young skin we have to be careful with, but what is your suggestion for all of us with our teens that are
really good cleanser to start?
I think basic cleanser, a good moisturizer. Like I would say, probably extreme cream's too much for your son.
It's
Recharge
much, right?
is a much lighter weight gel cream. And then an SPF.
Yeah.
Like simple, no retinols. You don't need any acids.
Oh, don't do it.
If you have acne, maybe an acne treatment. But
what if they are starting to break out? What if, I know the boy, that teen skin, I know that makes him self-conscious. Are there any ingredients that you were like, absolutely use this for them?
Our acne serum's great. We were the first acne serum that was not like a gel-based salicylic acid treatment. So it's because I'm all about skin barrier. So what a lot of acne serums will do is they will dry the acne out and kill the acne, but they're not. You're also drying your skin barrier, and when you dry your skin barrier, you're creating more acne down the road. So the minute you stop using it, the acne flares back up. So it's like, how do we like heal that, right? How do we balance the microbiome of the skin? How do we like dry the acne out and kill the acne bacteria, but not at the expense of the skin barrier? And so we were the first really non-gel salicylic acid treatment. So our acne serum's pretty great for that.
I might give that to the boys. Honestly.
But boys too, like if you're doing sports, you're outside, whatever it is, like make sure you wash your face. I mean, it sounds like real fundamental, but
the sweat, the dirt,
he's
the
like
pollution.
really into it now and like washing his showers twice. You know what I mean? I think it's just like they're starting to understand that you have to take care of it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know for anyone out there that's dying.
Yeah, keep it simple though. You don't need all this. You don't need 10 steps. You certainly do not need a retinol. You do not need acids like glycolics and lactics and all that. It's too much at that age. Your skin just needs a little extra support.
Yeah. And that goes for us too, right? Keep it simple.
Yeah. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple, but find something that really works and is
really
packed with ingredients that are going to deliver the results that you're looking for.
Well, you guys, we love you so much.
We love you guys.
Honestly, I am like honored to know you guys, work with you guys. Again, I think it's the most spectacular cream. I'm so glad that I really got to use it over a period of time. So I really, again, it's like the clinical study. It's like really understanding it because it has been such an incredible change for me. And I love it so much. I love you guys so much. Again, having female owned women who actually understand what we're going through is so important, and pro-aging is what we're all about. So thank you for believing in us older ladies.
When we first reached out, you were like, wait,
what? I was like a 50-something-year-old. I was like, wait.
Hell yeah.
I was like so, and again, it's just like that, seeing the markets change and understanding that we're just as important. And seeing women who are older, it's like you want to have something to look forward to or to look up to, not just looking at perfection. It's like how do you age gracefully? It's the age of and feel good in your skin.
Perfection. It's the veils. It's coming down. Like it's coming down. Like
we're all real gone. People. I love. It's like just you are perfect. And we all can use a little. We all have our little tools, and that's the best part of it.
Absolutely.
So you guys do not forget to get the extreme cream. But again, every one of the products. I think it's so worth investing in and checking out. So you guys, Alisa, Jen, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
I love you guys so much. And guys, we will be back next week with Coming In Hot. Just don't forget to leave a review, a like, a follow. Make sure it's positive. We love you. And we'll be back next week.
Good vibes only.
Good vibes only. Mwah. Bye, guys.